did not file an appeal. The appellant complied with the Office of the President's order dated January 9, 2007 with an attached prepared resolution as required by the Office of the President. And the respondents did not file any. Hence, the case has been submitted for resolution after a period of more than 1 year. Case 4. A petition for review on certiorari was filed on September 29, 1992. Ready for resolution in 1994, but was finally decided in January 2004 by having the case transferred from one division to another. And whenever there is a new justice to whom the case is assigned, it is unloaded to another justice when there is a new appointee in the Supreme Court. Case number 5. An appeal has been filed with the Supreme Court from the CA decision dated May 31, 1982. It was decided on May 25, 1988, after almost 6 years, only to be remanded to the Court Ako, that is the RTC, for further proceedings. There are many instances, but for time constraints, I would not like to deal on them this time. And the lawyers who are practitioners, they know this fully well, but they cannot complain, because to complain, it might be for their disadvantage, because justices in the Supreme Court or in the Court of Appeals, pardon me to state this, they are not all 100% complying with what is incumbent upon them, with the justice. Many lawyers cannot say anything about these happenings, these developments. So what they do in order to not to incur the ire of the courts, they just have other lawyers sign for their pleadings so that their names will not appear. What is underscored? What is underscored is the fact that in all proceedings, civil, criminal, administrative, as well as in the other activities, the people are involved. People are involved, people who have their senses, people who have their own hearts, people with their own set of minds. Like, for instance, in a speech delivered by former Associate Justice Renato Cuno and now the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, which he delivered before the Bantay Katarungan entitled Improving System of Nomination and Appointment of Judges and Justices, he said, and I quote from his speech, "The selection of new judges and justices should bring out the best qualified ones. Again, it is self-evident that this is easier said than done. You will note that the Constitution and our laws prescribe the basic qualifications for members of the judiciary."
Alexander Hamilton, one of the founding fathers of the United States and a signer of the U.S. Constitution, once had this to say about the importance of valuing a nation's constitution. He said, "The sacred respect for constitutional law is the vital principle for a free government. At a time when this energy source that sustains our government and our democracy is facing the specter of being sapped, this gathering could not have come at a better time. Why is there a need to rally behind our Constitution? Our Constitution, while far from being perfect, was received by us as a fair inheritance from our great ancestors. Every provision was purchased by them for us with toil and danger and at the expense of treasure and blood. It will bring a mark of everlasting infamy on the present generation if we are to allow our Constitution and everything it represents, our liberties, our freedom, to be wrested from us without a struggle by violence or by the pretenses of designing men. It is my fervent hope that as we ponder on these threats and wrapper of solutions to address them, we will never go astray on our ultimate goal, the preservation of the Constitution. There is no going around the bush. As a wise man once said, I prepare a man who will burn the flag and then wrap himself in the Constitution, to a man who will burn the Constitution and then wrap himself in the flag. We are all in this fight together. It is my belief that protecting the Constitution is a duty that rests on the shoulders of every Filipino, regardless of creed and color. We are all tied to a single garment of destiny, the Philippine Constitution. So, on behalf of the officers and members of the Board of Governors of the Vanguard of the Philippine Constitution Incorporated, again, a pleasant morning and welcome to all of you to the celebration of the 21st anniversary of the Philippine Constitution. Thank you.
My topic today was to speak to you about civilian supremacy over the military. And I believe that I won't speak to you about that in an academic sense anymore. Perhaps it is more appropriate for Justice Mambong to talk about that. What I will talk to you about are some nuances that I see as Secretary of Justice. And then afterward, I will perhaps take off on what Justice Reyes said earlier as an appeal to you as members of this organization. Well, to begin with, the basic provision all of us knows that civilian authority is at all times supreme over the military. The Armed Forces of the Philippines is the protector of the people and the state. Its goal is to secure the sovereignty of the national territory. There are other provisions, for example, the prohibition on members of the Armed Forces of the